Oh, my loves, how are you? Today, I'm going to do a sacred union, shared space, chakra messages between the divine masculine and divine feminine collective. For any of you who have been with me for a little bit, you may remember my inner union readings where we went into the seven chakras of the masculine and the seven chakras of the feminine and sort of where you could work with those energies internally. And I'll drop some of those in the pinned comments for some of you who are new here or newer, because last year around this time I did a 22-day inner union series, and that's energy has been coming up, but in an evolutionary way where we're being guided to drop now more deeply into sustaining sacred union energies now that we've been embodying more of those internal union energies. So I'll put that playlist in the pinned comment for you. But today, again, this new sacred union um, message started to come through, and I did one on my Patreon last week, and I actually started offering um, personalized video message recordings for anybody who would be interested in having your own personalized reading, like the one I'm about to do. So I'll put that in the pinned comment as well. But anyway, it's really been beautiful to see how we've been evolving through this process as a collective. And those internal union energies are key because as you're dropping into your internal union energies more deeply and sustaining those, that is actually an important part of being able to hold the capacity and sustain sacred union partnership. Because as you embody more deeply into the full expression of your authentic essence and self in the physical form, that holds space for you to attract in and sustain that type of partnership and reciprocation. All right, so we're going to go into the shared space of the collectives in this sacred union energies that are coming forth more deeply for us as a whole collective. And it doesn't matter what the status of your connection is in the physical world. You may be not in communication. You may actually be living together in marriage, in full communication. But this process of this sustaining these partnerships in the beautiful dance of the union energies is always an ongoing evolution, just like our own ascension and growth process. So I want to bring forth messages from these collective shared space that will be the most beneficial for those of you here with me today. And thank you for your graciousness with this introduction. The energies are really coming through. Let's see. Hmm. All right. So, in the root chakra of the shared sacred union space, we have the moon, which is speaking to me about the depth of these connections and our capacity to navigate the extremes of these connections, the capacity to neutralize and temper our energies in our own energies internally, but also in the shared space. And the fact that this is in the root chakra is speaking to me about how deep these connections have gone and just how much is harmonizing and balancing within them. It also feels that there's some energies that were once hidden in the connections that are beginning to come to light. And my sense is that actually the divine sacred feminine collective is becoming aware of more, and more is being illuminated for her. In turn, more is being illuminated for the divine sacred masculine collective. it feels significant, and I feel guided to bring your attention to the blue essence in the root chakra. For me, the blue is obviously synonymous with communication. For me, it also drops into truth and the different frequencies of the high heart energy and essence. But for me today, the depth of her blue dress being at the bottom of this watery ocean essence, it feels like more and more and more truth is coming to light with these illuminations. I'm sensing, I don't know, I'm sure, well, we all, every 2 weeks we have a new moon or a full moon. So whatever our next full moon is coming up, I apologize, I do not know that date, but I think it might be coming up soon. It feels like something is going to be brought to light during that time. And I'm being drawn to the two wolves in that harmonious balance of the masculine and feminine, and the white masculine and the black feminine. I just feel guided to share that like that. It feels like you can open up to connecting with the energy and the essence of the next full moon cycle, going deeper into asking for your own illumination around yourself, around the root chakra, in the roots of your connection with your divine counterpart. Beautiful. And in the sacral chakra, we have this Four of Swords, which is speaking to me about a very, very deep recalibration and healing occurring within the sacral chakra of the shared space. I know many of you have been working in this area, and my sense with this is that the results of the work that you've been doing as a result of your connection is recalibrating the healing for both of you, but also just the overall conscious creation energies are in a deep reharmonization. And this heart here is speaking to me about the importance of the heart energy and connecting it through all of the chakras, but also just deeply holding yourself in love. My sense is that many of you have probably gone through the depths of the painful parts of the healing, although the overall masculine collective may be at the border of some of those and coming through those darker elements. I sense that the divine feminine collective is going into a very deep physical level of healing as she's balanced and harmonized so much of the emotional. Not that the collective won't be experiencing those emotions, but there's so much more harmony and balance and temperance within the emotional states that the physical body is going through a deeper healing and recalibration and move. And when I speak about the healing, yes, it can be any of those traditional 3D physical ailments or discomforts, but this actually feels like that deeper genetic healing into more and more of our true 12-stranded DNA and moving into those ageless energies and codes that live within your natural nature. Beautiful. Okay. In the solar plexus, we have the Two of Wands. And my sense with this is that both the masculine and feminine collective have been gathering their tools. They're looking at their perspective on a global scale. They're realizing this is sort of feels like it's in process, but it feels like there's a deeper understanding happening around the global importance of your presence. And I'm sensing that the feminines are sort of bags packed, ready to go. And yes, it's a waiting, but not in a like desperate waiting. It's more of like just waiting for those divine signs and divine timing to get the green light to make her next moves. And with the masculines, I'm sensing that they are deepening their perspective into their impact globally. And they're starting to make deeper connections around their choices. And I feel like they're starting to receive deeper downloads around the importance of their presence for the planet and allowing themselves to go through their next levels of transformation. I can actually sense that there's something sort of thawing and opening up around this topic. And I'm going to be posting um, more around this for those of you who have connected with the series Sacred Masculine Speaks. There's a conversation with Connor and I that you can tap into around these and check that out. All right, I'll drop that in the pinned comment as well because there's a lot opening up for the masculines right now. So stay tuned for those messages. All right. Yes, there feels like a deeper recalibration happening with these energies as the deeper healing occurs in the sacral chakra womb space and really moving deeper into that conscious creation, which is so beautiful because as we move into the heart space, we actually have the magician. And this feels like where the counterparts, the collectives, are syncing up in the heart space and both respectively working on their parts of manifesting that co-creative energies again for the planet. Now, everything I'm talking about up until this point, remember, there's no rushing anything. You are simply allowing the process space and grace, embodying deeper into your stability and continuing to follow your higher guidance and allowing the process to unfold in divine timing. But as the collectives are syncing up as we're moving into 2025, I'm sensing that 2025 is going to be a year where we're building significant momentum. 2024 felt like where the feminines were stabilizing much more, still sort of dancing and working in some of the depths of the shadows, but also establishing themselves more stably with everything that they've been learning. And the masculine started to move into their next levels, which was transformation from the inside out. And I do feel that there's going to be more syncing up energetically in the heart space because as I did these cards, the Ace of Cups in the throat chakra position actually flew onto the heart space. And so it feels very much that the divine masculines and divine feminine collectives are syncing up to manifest and ground and stabilize the essence of what has always been in their heart as they're embodying more and more of their own true selves and allowing their heart to awaken and come online in new and deeper ways. This is supporting the manifestation process for everyone on the planet, with each one of us who moves more deeply into manifesting from the heart space in a very stable, surrendered to the higher power loving manner, okay? Without attachment, but allowing ourselves to align with that highest timeline and that highest alignment, and then allowing your higher power and the higher source energy to work through you and with you as that conscious co-creator. The heart is a very key piece, and the fact that the heart came, the Ace of Cups came through in the heart or the throat position, it's speaking to me about that activation between the heart and the voice in the high heart area and really allowing yourself to speak your truth from your heart space when you feel divinely guided and ready to do so. Interestingly, in the third eye space, we have the devil. And what's coming through for me with this is actually an energetic sort of life review, realizing the lessons, where we may have been deceived in the past or the betrayal. I really sense deeply, especially with the masculine collective, there's a tremendous amount of revisiting past relationships, past patterns, and really starting to see where they have been responsible on their end and what they can do to sort of transform those. I also sense that they actually have gone through quite a bit of transformation during their process, and it's sort of like revisiting the past. Ooh, my throat is getting groggly through this, so something must be recalibrating with that as well. And they're seeing how they've transformed and what they would have been doing differently in the past. But that in it of itself is also a very deep healing process. So my sense is that the feminines will also be doing a level of this, but that many of the feminines have done this maybe for a few rounds, where this feels like a much deeper practice of this for the masculines, especially with this moon card and the root chakra. So feminines, if this is coming up, just keep rolling with it in your own way. You're supporting the overall collective with your capacity to navigate these energies. And you may have memories coming up from times with your masculine that you have significantly grown within, and you can also bring the results of who you are now to those past energetic situations and allow sort of those old shadows and confusion energies to dissipate more deeply. This really feels like an opportunity to clean up the past, learn the lessons from what was being presented in those opportunities, because these devil energies are also offering an opportunity to learn, right? To free ourselves from the bindings and from the webs and from the codependence and really move into our sovereign energy. And in that way, when we can have that higher perspective and where we can see the lesson and the opportunity within things, even as we're choosing what to participate in or not, there's a deep remembrance that the darkness is always in service to the light. If the light can release the tug of war energies, drop into their power and actually see the lesson that is being presented and the gift that is being offered, to allow yourself to bring the light into any areas where you may have repressed or suppressed yourself, or bringing those parts of yourself back home. Wow, beautiful. And in the crown chakra, we have the Five of Wands, which is speaking to me about this process that is occurring with this recalibration and all of the lessons that have been learned and are being learned in this process. To me, it's like the restructuring of how those lessons are affecting us on a physical level and our connection and the planet in a very positive way. But this reaching for the higher power, embracing the flame of the initiation of this transformative process and going through the purification is what is allowing us to embody all of those aspects of ourself, which ultimately allow us to drop again into that more embodied physical world essence of all of the aspects of who we are, which amplifies that core soul frequency and essence, which amplifies the beacon and the magnetism of your energy and essence and what you came here to support and provide for yourself, for your connection, for your community, your family, for the planet, for the cosmos, whatever you resonate with. And so I'm feeling a very deep strengthening overall within the collectives as each are embodying deeper into their next levels. And I do feel guided to get one final true love message to support these overall. And again, if you would like to have one of these done for you personally, I'll drop that in the pinned comments. Also to tell you, I've opened it up that when I do them, that depending on where the connection is and what comes through, that I'll also include inner union messages because I sense that many are in a middle of a recalibration phase. So it may be a combo of those. And I just trust that your higher self will know exactly what will be supportive for you. All right, what do we got? Oh, beautiful. We have forgiveness. I forgive myself. I am forgiven, is what it says on the ribbons. And it feels so, so beautiful and deep that as the counterparts, as the masculine collective forgives themselves through their process of contemplating, and as the feminines forgive themselves, it becomes easier to forgive one another. And it also becomes easier to forgive all of those experiences that you've had up until this point. Like I said, when you can look at it and understand that every experience, no matter how uncomfortable, was an opportunity for you to love yourself deeper and to take control of your own sovereignty and your own power and to affirm and validate yourself. And even as many of the counterparts experienced things where they may have hurt one another or felt hurt by one another, at the core of it, at the soul level, it was all in love and all to support your transformative purification process. And so when we can bring the forgiveness essences into that, it supports this deeper healing for everyone, regardless of what you choose to do with the status of your connection in the physical world. This process of bringing the forgiveness essences to all of it, to your connection, to the planet, to your ancestors, to the past life core soul wounds, into any places you've held yourself in self punishment, it can start to bring in those deeper energies of unconditional love and unity consciousness from the inside out, my loves. So, just taking a little space and grace to bring in the energy and essence of forgiveness wherever you may be feeling any forms of resistance. Again, I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day as you're continuing on your journey of internal union to sustain sacred union energies and partnerships on our beautiful, gorgeous planet. I would love to hear from you in the comments, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Much love. Bye.